What's up, YouTube? Game and Math Teacher here for another episode of the Curse of the Billy Goat Challenge. This time looking at the 2010 regular season starting at spring training. Cubs kind of running out of time here for the challenge, seeing what we can do. Hopefully able to push for a World Series this year with some big changes. Major one being bringing in Dontrelle Willis, kind of our big offseason signing. Coming off a 143 ERA plus year, before that 197 Cy Young year. See a Silver Slugger in 06, 09 All-Star, there we go, 08 Cy Young, and 07 back-to-back Cy Youngs here. Hopefully coming off a down year, quote-unquote down year. Going to see some things get better. Along with that, we also brought in King Felix via trade. Should be an extremely good fifth starter. Had a down year with Milwaukee last year, but was good up to that point, especially in AAA, then was good in 2007, 2008, had above average. Should be a great fifth starter. Bullpen-wise, star point is going to be the new addition of rookie Aroldis Chapman. Low control, but should get a lot of strikeouts. Should be a great setup guy for us as a lefty. Big change in that offense, though. A lot of things to mix around. This could be our down point this year. Jose Tabata playing center is actually an improvement over Victorino last year. Has the same average bat, but is much better in the field. Gary Matthews in left, again, another good defensive player, has a little bit of bat. David Wright, new addition at third. Coming off a very good year, 129 OPS plus, almost 6 WAR. Beltrán now in right, coming off another very good year, almost 7 WAR. Signed a long-term contract. We'll see how much he plays of that contract. Might be sellers, might be buyers. We'll see. Kenji's just been great since we've signed him, constantly getting better. Aubrey Huff, starting to regress a little bit. Could be a trade piece. We'll see. Mike Morris at second. Fills a role, plays some good defense. And Kozar, another good defensive player at short. See if that bat translates to what I did last year in very limited at-bats. But yeah, in spring training here, we'll kind of move some guys around, and we'll jump towards the end to see what this roster looks like. And we are back here at the start of the opening day, start of the season. And we have set this 2010 roster right now. So pitching staff-wise, we have Johan and Dontrelle as our 1-2. Probably the best 1-2 in the game right now. I mean, Johan, Dontrelle, both are very good. I don't know who I want to start the opening day. We'll see. Ubaldo is the 3, is very good. Felix is my 4, I'm very happy with. And Cahill's developing as a 5, will be very good as well. Bullpen-wise, middle reliever David Hernandez, acquired via trade, was very good last year, 152 ERA plus. Extreme fly ball is not great, but everything else looks fantastic. John Broxton, same day I think, got in a trade from Oakland. Was above average to Oakland last year, had a little bit unlucky BABIP, but has good fastball slider. Should be a good middle reliever. We have lefty Sean Marshall coming off his best year yet. 3.14 ERA in 62 games, 1.45 ERA plus. A negative WAR player, which is weird, but that's just mostly because he had 30 walks. Control's improving. He's a ground ball pitcher. He's got an elite curveball. John Lester, a Rule 5 pick from Oakland. Again, it's kind of just sat in the minors. Been very good in the minors when he's been there. Had a great spring, so we'll see if he can kind of work as a bullpen guy. Pat Neshek had a great spring training. Coming off a improved year, still struggling, kind of what we want him to be. Extreme fly ball is not ideal, but still is elite slider sinker. Then our setup guy is Sergio. Again, just continues to develop, coming off a great rookie year. Speaking of rookie years, Aroldis Chapman had a great spring. Has elite stuff, has elite fastball slider splitter. You can kind of see actually Chapman in 7 innings, only give 2 hits, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts. Get rid of the split. And Gagne is going to be our closer. Coming off a great year when he was healthy last year, just unfortunately couldn't stay healthy. Lineup-wise, we're going to struggle still. Tabata's defense first, but he's got speed. Great defensive player. We'll see what happens there. Gary Matthews has a good bat. David Wright at third is going to kind of be our star this year, I'm predicting. Beltrán as well, going to have a very good year. Kenji, Huff, Morrison, Cozart, kind of what we looked at before the season started. DH right now, Shannon Stewart. Has Morneau here as a chance as DH. Coughlin just a utility player. And Jason Phillips is backing up our catcher. Good defense. Should help when we need him. Part of that, we're going to jump ahead to the start of May, and we'll see how the first month goes. All right, quick jump in here. Looking at a trade, Chad Cordero was not going to be on our roster. Refused to go down to the minors on a super big contract. Oakland's retaining a majority of it, though, so it actually doesn't hurt us that much. And then Gary Matthews with just a terrible start to the year. On pace for a -9 year, -24 OPS plus. Gonna move him now before it's too late, before he has no value. As well as 2 throw-ins. Lou Ford, a minor league guy who's hitting well in AAA right now, but not terrible. Let's see if we can actually make this work for anyone else. Clay Fuller, Tabata. Matt Torre, we'll go with him. All right, so that works. Matt Torre, Fidel Pena, 2 minor league guys will never make the majors. I get Kerry Wood back on an expiring deal. Player option, he'll probably accept it, unfortunately. But we get a much shorter deal for a guy that might accept to go down. If not, we are going to have a spot for a bat. Some guys moving around. First of all, Kerry Wood, I doubt he's going to accept it. But we'll give it a chance. He refused to be demoted. I don't hate putting Kerry Wood in the active roster. So if we look, Sean Marshall is off to a very bad year. I think he needs some time in AAA right now. Throw Kerry Wood as a middle reliever, see what happens. And then we just need a bat to come up. So first of all, let's just clean up the minor league system here. Kevin Mensch has not been great in AAA. Joel Burt not been great in AAA. Lou Ford we said was. We'll bring Lou Ford up. That puts Shannon Stewart into left, which I'm okay with. Who's up to a really great start to the year and very limited at-bats. Beltrán, Wright. Other than that, everything else stayed the same. Lou Ford does slide into center field over Tabata, who, not to be surprised, is having a very bad start to the year. All right, so we're going to keep jumping ahead here, and I'll see you start of May. All right, we're back May 1st here. You can just see some of the news here, player development. But just look, we're sitting exactly at 500 right now. Pitching-wise, starters have been very disappointing. Johan Dontrell leading the way, Ubaldo being disappointed. Felix being the only good one, Kale struggling. Bullpen's been okay, Sergio's been bad. Gagne and Chapman have been very good. And that middle reliever's actually been solid for us, including Kerry Wood, who brought in under a 4 ERA. I'll always take that. That's where we're struggling. And so we have Shannon Stewart, Kenji, Beltrán, and Wright have been above average. Everyone else, Morneau, Ford, Huff, Coughlin, Zach Cozart, Phillips, Tabata, all been below. So the first thing I want to look at is, can we trade Aubrey Huff for anybody? He's on a big contract, so we're probably going to have to attach a prospect to him. And names it Cody Buckle. 17-year-old starter. Can I trade him? I cannot. Phillips Valdez. Maybe. Cannot trade him. Anthony Ghost. Some of you, I think stock's dropping. What if we retain like 40% of his contract? What about 70% of his contract? Or we can get some guys at this point, but nobody worth trading Aubrey Huff for. Right, so now look at, again, sitting 2.5 games back, don't really want to make too many moves. We do have a little bit of money left for extensions, but with that, not a whole lot of moves going to be made. can't see lineup. Huff's the one that's really been holding us back. Defense is regressing. Bats regressing. Opt out after next year, but he's only going to sit at 14, which is not terrible. We'll consider trade to certain teams. But we're going to jump ahead here, and I'll see you at the start of June. All right, we're back June 1st, now seeing 4 games under 500. Unfortunately, just went on a huge losing streak there at the end of the month. Going to look at the home screen here, just kind of see. Chicago here, kind of going. Hit a big spike, and then just been downhill since, and then kind of leveled out. Just a disappointing end of the month where we started really well. Dontrell's figuring it out, though. Cahill's been good. Ubal's been good. Unfortunately, Johan's kind of been our weak link in terms of ERA. Batting average-wise, Beltran's still struggling at 260, but 122 OPS plus hitting for some power, which I like to see. Aubrey Huff's starting to get a little better. Mike Morse has been terrible for us. Cozart's been bad, but he's not necessarily here to be bad, especially as young as he is. Yeah, 4.5 games back right now. The Brewers, 5 games back at the wild card. Gonna jump ahead in here one more time. Looking to get towards the trade deadline, and we'll see where we go from there. And we're back here July 1st. Unfortunately, just on a skid right now. Now 14 games under 500. Changing how we got to view the season at this point. Pitching-wise, our starters have been good. Felix kind of struggled recently. Going to limit those pitches just because it's common struggles. Kerry Wood's been good for us in the bullpen. Neshek struggled. Chapman's kind of slid. Gagne slid a little bit. Lineup-wise, we're struggling. Just 3 positive players are now. Beltrán, Wright, Stewart. Phillips has been our best hitting catcher. Kenji's had a regression year in hitting. Lou Ford, Coghlan, Morneau, Cozart, Talbot, and Morris have all been below average hitters. Morris has been almost unplayable. At this point, he has to go down. And if someone wants to sign him, they can. He has just been terrible for us. And looking at bats in AAA, there are some guys that we can bring up. Just consistently still been hitting good 147. The first base option, again, he gets a chance. Other than that, just a lot of disappointment here as well. Pitching-wise, no good ERAs. Edison Volquez actually as a closer has been very good in the AAA level. Sean Marshall's figured some things out in AAA, but nothing that's going to actually help us. Lineup-wise, let's fix this. Coghlan slides in at second. We'll see if he can do anything there. Tabata's been bad. Actually, might be another guy that goes down. Good defensive player, but on pace for a negative WAR season. Just going to get released back to the Orioles. Need an outfielder here, and we can just see Mabry's been good. Plays a lot of utility. Mench has led the AAA in home runs. We're going to bring Mench up. And one more time, McIntosh fixed lineup. Lou Ford's still in center. Beltran's still in right. Shannon's in left. Cozart, Kenji, Huff, Beltrán, David Wright. Well, again, this will be our last kind of stop here, majorly before the trade deadline, and at this point, I think we're going to be sellers. All right, we're here at the trade deadline. Again, sitting 23 games under 500, going to be sellers, unless they're just somebody absolutely that changes our season. I just don't expect that to happen, especially 30-year-olds. Brandon Phillips, Oscar Variel, Corey Patterson, Heath Bell and Jim Edmonds, Melvin Mora, Scudero, Worth, Dan Herron. Yeah, just not big names available to change our season enough. Which means we're going to be the sellers. Looking at our lineup, Beltran's been our best player in terms of home run, OPS plus. At 33, though, Let's see if we can get a prospect package for him. No. Can't take his money. We'll put him on the block. Other names, Aubrey Huff. Put him on the block. Shannon Stewart on a 1-year deal. Put him on the block. Can anyone trade for Justin Moore? No. Get Bagwell, Clay Meredith, Gino Espinelli. Both have actually been very good. Espinelli especially. Although AAA has been bad, Majors he's been good. Currently in AAA. I don't know if he's rehabbing maybe. He was good when he was in the Majors. Clay Meredith, same type of thing. Let's see if we do Clay Meredith and Gio Espinal. How close is this? Oh. Active roster. Oops, I could read and find a name here. He's in AAA right now. Oh, Kimbrel's there. Britton's there. They're not going to throw Britton back, are they? No. I just cannot see him. I'm right here, right in front of my face. I mean, I can get both. Save a little money. Which one of these on any kind of 2.5? Can they retain any of the Clay Merediths? I'll probably retain all because it's expiring. Well, not all of it. There we go. All right, so more no for 2 relievers. Works for me. Another one that needs to get traded is somebody who's been very good for us, but is on the wrong side to 30. Is Eric Gagne. He does have suitors. Can go after Lidge, but that doesn't do what we want to do. Some pitchers, bunch of pitchers. Anyone having a good year? Not really. Bagwell's actually having a good year, but looking up here, Lillibridge has been good, actually a good defender. We'll go with that deal. Oh, Lillibridge is gone now, of course. You got a lot of guys I can save some money on, so definitely a trade I can make. Nobody up there has been good. Carmen has been good. We'll go with that. Improving some money. Other names that need to be traded. Like front office salaries. Any other expiring? Shannon Stewart is. See if anyone wants him on our expiring. Yeah, some names here. 38-year-old Melvin Amora. Oh, is there anyone young? Gabby Sanchez, 26. No. Richard Rillia would be a good defensive option. Brady Clark at 37. Just some old guys. Thad Weber. Adrian Martineau. Julio Lugo. Could bring him back for another year. He was terrible with us. Dempster. Could bring him back for another year. John Lieber. Why don't I throw in like Ghost, who's somebody I don't have a lot of Major League hope for. That give me a better prospect package. Could bring in Lidge. Melvin Mora. Oh. Mark Reynolds has some serious pop and some defense. Sure. Has that a chance. I'll go with Mark Reynolds. Anyone else on a huge deal that I can move? Not really. Aubrey Huff I'd love to move, but I just don't think anyone's going to be interested in him. We'll see, though. Oh, Aubrey Huff. Nobody. What if I retain like 75%? Some guys, but nobody that's worth it. Aubrey Huff can stay. Let's jump back to the deadline day here. And jump ahead a couple sims here, see if anyone offers anyone for us. Mike Morris, I'd love to trade. I don't think anyone's going to trade for him. Literally will take anybody. Could bring in Brad Lidge's money. Coming off a bad year. He is expiring, right? Yes, he's expiring. Bagwell is an expiring. I will do Bagwell. Will they retain any of this money? They'll retain all of it. All right, will they give us any prospects for it? Oh, Alex Cobb? Nope. Brandon Guyer, Francisco Cervelli, Zach Lutz. There's not a lot of good even prospects on that. Any other guys they'd want to get rid of? Not really. All right, I'll just let you keep all your money. Get Bagwell for free for the rest of the year. You know what, Joelbert? Let's go to the trade block. You want Joelbert? Not really. How about Doug in his last little stint here? No. All right, so we'll call that good for our deals. Definitely got worse, but that was the whole point. So Bagwell, Reynolds, and some of these relievers. Who's been bad that didn't get to stay up here? Doug, even bad. He's even demoted. We'll waive him. Pitching wise, Nishek, just another bad year. We'll see if we can trade Nishek for anybody. Nobody's interested there. You know, Pat Nishek. Some 30-year-olds. Extreme fly ball, another bad year. Aaron Cook. I mean, he's been better. Whatever, that's just a neutral move. Really just getting a guy that can send to AAA. He needs to be on the 40, but he can go down to AAA. Let's get Aaron Cook here wherever he went. Wave and designate. Clay Meredith and Carmen. Clay Meredith. Better against righties, but he's fine against both. He can be a middle relief guy. Carmen. Average against both. Middle relief guy. Gio. Same against both. Can be a middle relief guy. All right, build that pitching staff out. Lineups where we're struggling, but that's okay. Bagwell slides into the DH spot most likely. Yes, he does. I just have Mark Reynolds as a bench guy. Jason Phillips is a bench guy. Coughlin gets to play some more second. And we'll jump ahead another deadline day moment. No deals. One more. Yeah, and that's all we got. Nobody interested in any talks. Paul Clemens being John Lever, Nishek. Masterson gets on the block. Zach Stewart. All right. Jump hitter here August 1st. Broxton's hurt. Place him in the IL. I don't know. Is there a AAA guy that deserves to come up? Jolbert, why not? At this point, can't do any worse than what we have. And he slides in second base. Coughlin now moves to the rotation out of the starters. And we looked at that, so we're going to jump ahead here to September 1st, September call-ups to see how things go. All right, we're back here in September, sitting 55 and 78. At this point, out of it, just really fighting for the first overall pick at this point. 2 games back to the Astros for the worst record in the NL. And the AL, I think there's 2 teams sitting in that same park with us. Dontrell slides the 1 spot. A couple things that changed. September call-ups brought some guys up. Nothing's really going to be notable. But we are going to jump ahead to the end of the regular season, and I'll see you then. All right, we're back here at the end of the regular season. It ended up being 69-93. Standing-wise, I forgot standings. You can see here 2 games ahead of the Reds for the worst in the Central. Tied with the Marlins and the Twins and the A's. So sitting anywhere from 2 to 5. So top 5 pick guaranteed. Playoff-wise, you can just kind of see Tigers, Royals, Angels, Yankees in the AL. Mets, Braves, Diamondbacks, Brewers in the NL. One thing I want to make sure I do first, front office-wise, personnel. Joe McIntosh, 3rd straight year of bad seasons. Has good ratings, but not very good. So we see who's here. At this point, nobody will kind of let things go ahead a little bit more. Again, not in a rush to fill this manager spot. Probably going to have to wait till the regular season. Or right till the postseason ends. So we'll jump here in playoff coverage, see how things go. Playoff tree. Braves sweep the Mets. Brewers sweep the Diamondbacks. AL both go to game 5s. And Tigers and Yankees each win. So yeah, Brewers, Braves, Yankees, Tigers in the LCS. Tigers up 2-0 in the Yankees. Braves and Brewers split at 1. As we load in here the draft class, it looks like. Minor league database, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the draft class. which is an influential draft class for us because we do have a top pick. Anywhere from 2 to 5. I'm hoping closer to 2. Gonna draft MLB Ready, guys, because we're running out of time. I believe there's actually a good draft class, if I'm not mistaken. The 2010 class. I can't remember if it's either a great class or a terrible class. I don't think there's in between on this group. Yeah, and looks like it is the draft pool announcement. Before we get there, we'll just kind of flip through here. Matt Morris, pitcher of the year in AAA. Eric Hosmer, career leaders, draft pool. Yeah, this is Mookie Betts, Bryce Harper, Ketel Marte, Javi, Yelich, Simeon, Lindor, Springer. Yes, this is a great draft class. Look at default, all players, high potential guys, and I'm going to add some guys to the list. I'll be back when I do that. All right, all these top players. Big ones circled. Bryce Harper is my number 1. If he's there, I'm drafting him, no question about it. Love Bryce Harper. All right, that Mookie Betts is going to be a potential option if he's there. So I think it's either Bryce Harper, Mookie Betts, Jose Hernandez probably is on that list. Rest in peace. Frankie Lindor, J. Ram, Snell, Tyon Yelich, Ketel, Simeon, Springer, Clevenger's there, Trevor Bauer. Don't love the person, or love or hate the person, I guess I should say. Very good pitcher for his time. Hendo, just Mr. Control, Mr. Consistent, reason why the Cubs won a World Series. Archie Bradley, Jackie Bradley, Kepler, Musgrove, San Diego kid, hopefully ends up in San Diego. I love that story in real life. Nick Ahmed, Teoscar is here. The Dark Knight, Matt Harvey. So yeah, very good draft class. And look at the mock draft right now. Sitting at draft slot number 9 at Nimmo. Honestly, at this point, I'd probably pick Javi over that. Jose Fernandez, Frankie Lindor. Yeah, there's guys I would pick over Nimmo, who, yeah, is good, but doesn't really help us. All right, so we'll keep looking at playoff coverage here. Tigers take a 2-1 lead. Braves, Brewers still split at 1. Brewers take the 2-1 lead. Tigers 3-1. Yankees win a game back. Braves win a game back. Braves now take the lead. Yankees even the series. Tigers win Game 7. Braves win Game 6. So you have Tigers-Braves World Series. Tigers get the first one. Braves get the second. Tigers Game 3. Tigers Game 4. Braves Game 5. Braves Game 6 to force a Game 7 in Atlanta. And the Tigers take it. So Detroit Tigers win the World Series. And the Cubs are just about to start the offseason here, looking at a coach. Again, going full overhaul, have the 2 really good players in Beltrán and David Wright. Outside of that, a bunch of question marks. Good starting lineup, or good pitching rotation, number 1, number 2, with Wilson, Johan. Outside of that, some questions. Cahill kind of regressed a little this year. Felix was average. Ubaldo's starting to regress, so some character questions there we have to answer. Bullpen-wise, Chapman moves in this closer role next year. A little wild to have him working control this offseason. Yeah. So looking at this, Johan still stays on the team, doesn't opt out. Wood's going to be here for another year. Looks like we get a little more money to spend. Brad Fulmer retires, which, whatever, under 200 for us. We do get a 4-year contract. Let's get some personnel leaving at fill. Some top prospects. Don't have anyone on there because Chapman graduated off of it. Daisuke done for next year already. And now we look, first things first, let's look at a personnel. Looking for a manager. Ivan Calderon is the most interesting look right now. Good, outstanding, excellent. He is the best coach available. Ivan Calderon, he just wants his own hitting coach, but I'll just hire that before I hire him. Gives him a 5-year deal. Let me first be hitting coach. Paul Carey. We'll hire him before they have an option. Training wise, looking here. Matt Bartlett's a good prevention guy. We'll give him that contract. Some minor league coaches. Minor league manager when it comes to coach ratings. Tony Fossis looks good. RJ Teal. Okay, now you have a pitching coach here. John Sachs looks like a good option. Pitching coach here. Go with Dave Hughes. I don't know, I'm just kind of picking some random guys at this point. Hitting coach, Paul Carey. Nope. Mitch Almasi. And there's all our coaches offered. Arbitration-wise, these guys are not going to get an offer. They're type B, which is just insane because they're not good. All these guys can walk. Getting down here, same type of thing. Nobody really moves the needle for me. And looking at this. So first of all, Ugla. Not going to get. Kenji will. Clay Meredith will. All those guys can get tender. I'm okay with all that. All right, last thing we're going to do here. Our upcoming free agents, guys we want to be interested in, is not a great free agent class, actually. We have Jeters on the White Sox. Jason Schmidt could be a starting option. And not too good a free agent class. Millwood, Jimmy Rollins, John Smoltz, Brandon Phillips. Any high potential, low overall guys? Not really. We'll see if we have some shocks, but David DeJesus is kind of the best player here. Might splurge on him. He's below average hitter last year. Doesn't have actually a lot of bat. Well, other than that, this has been the Game Math Teacher. Another disappointing year in Chicago. Unfortunately, the clock keeps ticking us closer and closer to that 2016 year. Really have 2 more years to win it before we go downhill again. But with that, I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time.